people, parties don't stop in Nigeria. And if you know anybody or any other country that parties bigger and better than Nigerian, please let me know in the comments below. And if you can prove it, I'm willing to put money where my mouth is, and I'll bet money on it that there's nobody, absolutely nobody in the world that parties better or bigger. Nobody parties better than a Nigerian. Anyway guys, today we talk about the party culture in Nigeria, otherwise known as Owambe. So they say that Saturdays are days for Owambe, and for real is the truth. And it's one of the reasons that there's so much traffic anywhere, especially in Lagos, because on Saturdays there's one party on the other. There's a wedding, there's a burial, there's just any form of celebration, even birthday parties. So you guys, even when a child is born, the kind of pomp and color that comes is crazy. So you know, like in a later video I'll tell you about what happens immediately after the birth of a child, but within 8 days there's actually a very big party. It's called a naming ceremony. So in this particular party, I mean, it can be as big or as small as you like it to be, but anyhow it is still a party. And when there's parties, there's food, lots of food, there's lots of drinks, there's a lot of money. I'm sure you guys have seen money being sprayed all over, and I'm sure you love that. So there's always that, and there's always gifting in all parties. So right from birth there's the naming ceremony. People come, they see the baby is given names, and there's prayers, then there's food, there's pomp, there's color. A lot of people bring gifts for the baby, and most of them actually give money, especially the men. So right from there, and then the child now grows up and starts having birthdays, man. Even from birthday one, you guys, you know. So in Kenya, we are not so, I mean, there's not much pomp and color in terms of parties. So let's say your child turns one, you could probably just do a small party, you know, a garden party, or in a restaurant, or even at home, by the way. So we get cakes, we get snacks, we invite children over and maybe their parents, and we have the party. Maybe you can have face painting, you can have games and all that. In Nigeria, guys will lock down a whole hall, you know, just for a 1 year birthday party. People will come from all over. The kind of gifts, there'll be these motor cars, there'll be, I mean, all sorts of gifts. Of course, not in every socioeconomic class, but I mean, the ones that I've seen is that the kind of gifts people give are like, whoa. People have given children, like, you know, 1 million or millions worth of gifts, you know, like we're watching. I'm like, man, in Kenya, that 1 million gift for the child is enough for a small party, you know. And as the children grow, now we start maybe taking, in Kenya, we start taking the party in school, especially if it's on a weekday. You know, we'll just take snacks for the babies, maybe cake and a bit of snacks, and they'll share, and that's it. In Nigeria, you guys, the pressure gets worse, man. So like for us, I have 3 kids. By the way, funny thing is that none of our children's birthdays falls during the school time, and we're like, whoa. But anyway, long and short of it, we still participate in some of these activities. So what happens in Nigeria is that there's a very big culture of party packs, right? So depending on what age the child is, so you can get, maybe the theme is SpongeBob or PJ Masks, you know, or if it's a girl, I don't know a lot of girls themes. Whatever theme that they are feeling, you know. And then you get maybe a bag, and then you get snacks ranging from not 1 or 2 snacks. There'll be biscuits, there'll be cakes, there'll be juice, there'll be, I mean, all sorts of things. There'll be coloring books, you know. There'll be all, I mean, we've received gifts, right? We've even received vouchers for birthday for parents, for a couple. I remember there's one that one of the kids in my I think our older son's school actually gave a gift voucher for us to go to an executive, I mean, man, such an executive spa, you know, like, well done parents for bringing up your child, please go and pamper yourselves. And we're like, so when you're planning some of these parties and party gifts for your children, sometimes thinking millions, of course, depending on, you know, where your children are going to school, because you can't be, I mean, you can't be the one that just takes 1 kg cake for children to, you know. So anyway, it's expected. I mean, when you're taking your child to a particular school, or you live in a particular area, I mean, there's just a way people do things. But I can assure you, even the people who are not so economically up, they still make a big deal of celebrations. Nigerians celebrate life, and that's on period, you know. It doesn't matter. I mean, I've seen parties of people who are not so well off, and honestly, they're on point. I mean, they'll have jollof, they'll have fried rice, they'll have all sorts of meals, there'll be drinks, you know, and I mean, it's amazing. So I mean, when we talk about weddings are like $1 billion, I mean, it's $1 billion industry in Nigeria, guys. As in, the kind of decor that you see, the kind of locations, you know, that you see is man, I'm like, sometimes I look at it and think, Kenyans, we are very conservative, man. We are so conservative and we are very, very simple. Nigerians, simplicity is not a thing, you know. And where the posh, I'm sorry to say, but where the posh of some countries begin is where the simplicity of Nigeria is. I don't know if that makes sense, you know. I don't really know if that makes sense, but yeah, as in, we have seen, there's a party that we went to, right? But it was for one politician, you know, so we work with that particular politician. And do you know, okay, it was a small exclusive wedding, right? Because it was during the COVID time. Guess what was in the party packs? Guys, there were iPhones, right? But of course, they don't give the same gifts to everybody. Say if you're 200 people, they didn't give 200 iPhones, but there was different categories of gifts. Some were like, there was stays in a particular hotel, then there was the iPhones, and then, you know, some amazing things. And the thing with Nigerians, they give you functional stuff, you know. There's places you get maybe face towels, you get towels, you get kettles. I mean, if you look at our kitchen, we have trays, we have kettles, we have all sorts of things, you know. Mementos, just things from parties. So Nigerians, one thing that you'll be assured of, there'll be great music, there'll be a band, right? And then there'll be great food, and there'll be a party pack, regardless of the social economic class. Whether it's a pen, whether it's a notebook, they call them jotters, there'll be something, you know, there'll be something for you. So weddings, it depends on a lot of things, but either way, regardless of the social economic class, they'll be big. I mean, they'll be big in their own way. So parties are a big thing. The other thing about parties, I will say, whether it's a birthday or a wedding, depending on the person doing it, there's something that they call ashwebi. Like what I'm wearing is part of ashwebi, one of the parties that we went to. These were the theme colors, this was the fabric. So what they do is that the person decides, my theme is maybe red or orange or whatever the case may be. And what happens is that now they send out the fabric to the people they've invited the party for. And then you get to choose whatever design you want to make. You can use maybe the same tailor. They can recommend and say, go to a particular place and have your measurements done and your clothes done in this particular style. Or they can just send you the fabric, and then you create whatever style that you want to create. So the thing is that if you're not careful and you have, say, 20 parties in a year, what will happen is that you buy 20 ashwebis. And trust me, you guys, these things are not cheap. Again, it depends also with the fabric and who is doing the party. I mean, some are for lace, you know, and you know, there's also levels to lace. Some are, you know, Ankara, you know. So, I mean, it depends. So by ashwebi, regardless of whatever socioeconomic class, there's always some, you know, ashwebi based on off the theme of the party. And so many factors. And also what they do sometimes, you can have different ashwebis in the same function. So maybe they say the older folk will wear this kind and the younger folk will wear this, or you know, or they can even recommend styles. But anyway, mostly the style is dependent on the person going for the party. Now the most shocking thing, let me tell you, is about the burials or the funerals. Guys, even in burials and funerals, it's still a party. So let me give you my experience. The first time I ever encountered like a burial thing. So first and foremost, fast forward, and it's one of the shocks. So we were just driving down. I just gotten to Lagos, and we were driving down to our state from Lagos. And then we reached this particular town, and then I start seeing billboards, right? So I'm seeing billboards, you know, celebration of life. After 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, another big billboard, a celebration of life. So I keep quiet. So as we're going, you know, on road trips, you'll be talking. So I keep quiet, and then my husband now asks me, what's up? Is everything okay? Why are you suddenly quiet? Because I think he had asked me something and had not answered, and he'd repeated. So I'm like, oh, babe, was there a catastrophe in this area? Did something happen? And why are so many politicians or prominent people dying? Like, what's going on? Was there a catastrophe? Did something happen? And then he's like, why did you ask that? I said, babe, as we were coming down, did you not see? I'm like, see what? And then he's like, see what? He's like, I saw billboards, like those big billboards saying celebration of life. There was one old man, there was an old lady, and then there was a middle-aged man. I mean, these were like 3 billboards of celebration of life within a radius of, was it 2 or 3 kilometers? Like a really short radius, like a few minutes of driving. And then he's like, oh, he laughed. And then it's like, why would you think something bad happened? Why would you think that there was an accident or a catastrophe happening? I'm like, babe, and why would you think those people are prominent people? I'm like, you know, in Kenya, whenever you see somebody on a billboard, if it's not an advertisement, say for a product or a service, it's usually during the election period. Like there'll be so many people, you know, vote for me, I'm vying for this seat. So they're mostly politicians, right? So the only good reason for someone to be on a billboard is either if they're maybe an influencer, or a celebrity endorsing a particular product or service, or a politician. That's what I'm used to in Kenya. So when I see celebration of life, I'm thinking it must be somebody of influence that's there. And then he says, no, for as long as, I mean, you can afford it and your family wants to, you know, put you up on a billboard when you die, they'll do it, right? It's as per everybody's wish. I'm like, wow. So these guys announce, even burials are such a big, you know, they are a big thing, they are celebrated. I mean, they are big billboards. Not everybody, of course, but it's as per the family's wishes. So anyway, we stay for a bit, and then a few months in, we get invited for, I mean, a burial. I don't know that you call it a burial or funeral, but you should understand. So when we are planning to go, I get our dark clothes. So we had this matchy clothes, you know. So it was like very dark, very somber, but it had very nice prints. So I said, oh, this is what we are wearing. So my husband is like, okay. So I mean, so we wear and we go. So as we are going, my husband says, let me get, so when we're about to drive out, he goes back to the house. He's like, oh, I forgot mint. I'm like, so guys, mint is cash, right? Cash in bills, whatever you choose, whether it's in thousands, 500s, 200s. So that's the money that they spray, you know, that's the money that they spray in parties. It's called mint. You don't go with your old raggedy notes. You know, the ones that have been through markets and whatever. No, usually when they're spraying money, if you've noticed, very clean, very mint. That's why they call it mint, like very, you know. So he goes and brings mint. I'm like, but babe, we're going to a burial, and we have already done our contribution. We sent a money transfer. He's like, no, you don't worry, let's go. So we go there, and you know, I'm wearing my darkest shades, you know, and you know, I mean, we're going for a burial, so it's sad. So we get there. It was one big what's it called, field, right? It was one big field, but there was so much music coming from, and I'm like, babe, why is there first and foremost different celebrations in the field? Because the parking was massive. There were so many people there, and then you could hear different bands and all that. I'm like, is it that they had a wedding and a burial in the same place? He said, no, you know, let's go. So I noticed he's like smiling, but he's not telling me. The thing about my husband is that he used to let me find things out for myself. So anyway, we go there, and I'm just seeing people up and down, food moving in big trays. People are all over the place, and I'm like, okay, where's the burial place? So as we walk in, I mean, he was one of the guests that were, you know, distinguished, that were invited. So we go, and they you know, they pick us up, and we go, and there's a table, and there's all these people, you know, in that particular state that are quite notable. So we sit down. When I get there, I find, I mean, everyone is having drinks of choice. You know, there's drinks of choice, and then they say, what will you start with? Do you want bushmeat? Do you want? I'm like, babe, we came for a burial. We're supposed to be sad. Why are we eating even before? When is the service starting? What's going on? He said, no, calm down. So you guys, it was not a burial as in the one that, you know, when somebody's being put on the ground. This person had actually died a year before, so it was an 1-year anniversary thing, but they call it burial, I think burial celebration or something. So people had just come to celebrate and the life of the person. I'm like, you guys are partying like you're happy this person died. So said, no, this is how we do things. And if the person was a notable member of the society, was an older person, and the children of this person want to celebrate their life, they do it big. Ma dorobuchi. So long and short of it, I mean, we sat down, we ate. At some point now, the live band. So there was different live bands in different corners. So different kinds of people who were sat in different areas. So there was different bands for different people, different sections for different people. So as we are eating, then the band where we were at, they start singing, and then there's something called hailing in Nigeria. So they start singing your praises. So they say, Biola, that imported a wife from Kenya, beautiful wife, educated wife. So they start. So my husband is like, that's our cue to stand up. I say, stand up and do what? So me, I'm here, I'm enjoying a big piece of turkey. I'm like, stand up and do what? You be going. He said, can't you hear they're calling you? I'm like, what do you mean? So anyway, so we go. So we are supposed to be dancing. So it's at that point that you go, as the band is singing and dancing, and then maybe the family of the celebrants is at the front. So what you do is that now you start spraying the money. So you guys, in Nigeria, everything is celebrated. Birth is celebrated, weddings are celebrated, any achievement is celebrated, and most of all, even burials are celebrated big time. So that's the mwende culture of Nigeria, the party culture of Nigeria. Parties don't stop in Nigeria, and everything is done in a big way. Dorobuchi. So you guys, that's part of the culture shocks. If you've not watched part 1 when I started off from the airport, please go back and watch that and keep it here so that I can give it to you in small manageable pieces. 5 years is a long time. I can't just dump everything at once. Thank you so much for keeping it here. Please like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Love you guys.